Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Let's see. I am going live, everybody. Tonight is Friday night, and I was hoping it would be a good time to talk about the RICO Statute. The RICO Statute is the statute I've been talking about that is a law that got enacted in 1970, and that law helps the prosecutors and DAs when they're trying to prosecute a network of people. Hello, everybody. Are you there? I can't see anyone. Okay. Hello, everybody. Am I live? I'm going to check. I'm going to check to see if I'm live. Looks like I'm live. Thank you. I just can't see where I am. Okay, so tonight I'm going to do a reading. Hello, beautiful people. It's a beautiful night in Florida. And we're going to go over in detail about the RICO statute. And I'm really looking for you to write your comments or in your chat, wherever. I know that the comments section allows you a lot more room to really give me your input on the parts of the RICO law, the RICO statute. So I'm hoping that you can either during the chat or after or at some time, if you have concerns or questions or suggestions, that you put them in, because it's really important that you know where I'm coming from. I'm not an attorney. I've already said that. I have no idea how this law can go into effect, because the deal is it has to be okayed through the prosecutor's office to use it. And obviously it's very complex because it isn't using one individual and trying to charge that one individual with a crime. It's using all of the people that are involved in the cult. Now, we can change the cult to the word an enterprise, because it is all of our beliefs. I firmly believe that we all can say that the cult was devised to murder and make money, steal life insurance, murder, and make money. So it would be make sure the person's insured, kill them, and then be the beneficiary of that particular dead person. That is the scam here we're talking about. It's very simple math. Buy life insurance, make sure it's on the partner's head that you're going to kill them, and enjoy the benefits of the money. We know what happened. We know that it went wrong. We know that the first killing was of Charles VALLOW on July 11th, 2019, just a little bit over a year ago today. I am wondering if when they killed Charles, did they really think that Lori was the beneficiary. If she indeed called the life insurance company, as we have all heard that she has, then it demonstrates that she thought she was the beneficiary. From what I remember was that she called the life insurance company, let's call it moments after Charles's death. Okay, just moments. So she obviously, when I say moments, he got killed on a Friday. So did she call on a Monday? Did she not have time while she was in the police interviews on the Friday that he was killed, when she was being interviewed with Alex and Tylee? Did she not have time on that Friday to call the life insurance company to see if she was the beneficiary? That's what I mean by moments. It might have been on Monday. Who knows when she called? The only thing I know is that I got a report at some point that she had called asking about how to collect her life insurance payout. So it is my opinion that demonstrates she thought she was the payee. It also demonstrates that what happened before the life insurance payout and before Charles's death, that someone had corrupted to his account, into his life insurance account. They got into his account, changed passwords. Who knows what else they changed, what the variables were. I have no clue what they changed. The only thing I can say is they were in there conspiring together, because it was a male voice that called the life insurance company. It wasn't a woman. No woman could call, especially with Lori's sweet little girl voice that she uses. She couldn't be in there going, "I'm Charles Vallow, so sorry." She just couldn't do that. So it had to have been either Alex or Chad or someone that she hired to do that. And that's why I'm using the word hired, because we're forgetting what this is about. We're forgetting that this is a business. When you kill someone that has a $1 million tag on their head, that money is going to be divvied up if they can obtain the money. So when Lori and Chad and Alex and Summer and Janice and whoever else, in my opinion, might have been involved with this killing, they certainly thought they were getting $1 million. They certainly thought there was going to be payouts to someone. We know that Charles had been supporting that family for a long time. We know that her whole family, Lori's family, the Cox family, whether it was Janice and Barry, whether it was Summer, whether it was whoever else, not Melanie Plow, they were all leaning on Charles heavily for his financial, supplement to their lifestyle. So I would assume, my assumption is that all of them had a stake in this. All of this network. Who is the network? Those names I just named. Lori and Chad, the head dons. Just like in the mafia, there's dons. They're the head of that particular family. Lori and Chad, the head dons. Alex, the henchman, the hitman. Summer, Janice, Melanie, whoever, Zulema, whoever. You can just spill whoever you think is a part of this criminal group, this criminal enterprise. So let's stop thinking them as a cult. It's nice to use that term cult or any other term you use for a zany kind of group of people that just don't walk the line. But it isn't useful when you're trying to identify that it's a business. This was a business. Doesn't matter if it was family members all involved. Doesn't matter if Ian Pulowski wasn't blood but joined in. Doesn't matter if Zulema wasn't blood but joined in. Doesn't matter if there's hitting people sitting on the wayside right now as I speak that are part of this business, this enterprise. This group of people got together. And an enterprise can be an illegal one, like this one is. This is very illegal. Their enterprise, their missions, if they did have a cover story, it would read, this enterprise is here to make sure life insurance and other entitlements are on our victims. We killed the victim, and then we profit from them. That it would read like that. That's what our enterprise does. That's kind of our storyline. So when they make their business plan up, it's a business plan of murder for financial gain. Now, they would never put that in writing, or maybe they did. Who knows? But they're not going to say, our business plan is put together to murder people that we have made sure that they have some type of financial entitlement attached to them so that we will profit, we will prosper when they get killed. So we will, as our little group, as our little enterprise, we will set up the murders. And then once the murder is done, then we'll divvy up the murder. But the problem is, some of our murders don't work out. Because like in the case with Brandon Boudreaux, he wasn't killed. So not all their murders. When they tried to kill Tammy the first time, it didn't work. Right? Tammy lived the first time. Whoever was shooting at her in her driveway missed. She walked away from there unscathed. But that didn't last for long. Less than 10 days later, she was dead in her bed with a life insurance policy that had just been increased up to, I don't know how many, I don't know what it was before, but I know that it ended up, the payout for Chad was $430,000. But don't forget, they're an enterprise. They are an enterprise. That $430,000 didn't just go to Chad. Lori had a cut. You know damn well that bag of cash that she was carrying in Hawaii, when Nate Eaton said that's a lot of money to have in a plastic bag. Lori, what are you doing with that money? You know where that money came from. Because remember, she didn't get any money from Charles. He had changed the beneficiary to Kay Woodcock way before she killed him. She thought she had it. She thought it was an ace in the hole. She thought, hey, I'm going to kill my husband. I'm not going to divorce him. He wants a divorce. Heck no. If I divorce him, I'll get dribbles for the rest of JJ's childhood. No, I'd rather have one big lump sum so that me and my husband to be, Chad Daybell, the prophet, the God, the whoever he is, the Don, me and him can take off to Hawaii. The Don and I are going to take off to Hawaii and live on Charles's money. Well, that didn't happen. The enterprise got cut short. So then they moved on to Tylee. Why'd they move on to Tylee? I bet you 10-1. And I've heard many other people say this. This isn't my sole idea. But I bet 10-1 they thought that Tylee would spill the beans on their enterprise of Alex, Chad, Lori, possibly Summer, Janice, Melanie Pulowski, all of them, whoever was involved with Charles's plot to murder. That enterprise, so that's when they had that swim party that night. That was their time to talk about how they were going to divvy up those $1 million that they just thought they got. And then they found out they didn't get it. So they had lost with Charles, but now Tylee was learning things. You could see it in her face in one of those last pictures at Yellowstone Park. You could see that this girl was under extreme distress. Extreme. So what happened then was they decided to kill Tylee because they had no income. Remember? Now Charles is dead. He doesn't have to pay child support. He's dead. He doesn't have to divvy up his estate. He's dead. All the things that Lori would have been entitled to being his wife went by the wayside because he's dead. The $1 million isn't there. So now they're hurting for money. So Tylee's in their way because Tylee knows something. Tylee knows everything, or Tylee knows bits and pieces. And Tylee and JJ are worth $6,000 a month to them. And that's a lot of cash to Chad Daybell that really never worked in his life. I mean, he's never made $6,000 a month. And, you know, that's not a fact. That's an assumption on my part. But considering his publishing company had hardly any publishings and their sales, you know, did not have great numbers of sales. So there is no way that Chad had made $6,000. He had Tammy out working like a workhorse. She was a Clydesdale, you know, strong ox of the family, trying to support the family, trying to nurture the 5 kids, while her husband was destroying the family, destroying most likely the kids' minds with all of his garbage. But that's neither here nor there. So they kill Tylee, then JJ, because now they get $6,000 a month from government entitlements, Social Security and whatnot, and they don't have to spend 1 penny on those children. It's $6,000 clear that they do not have to. That money was given from the government to pay for JJ and Tylee's life, their living, their expenses. Both of them had lost their fathers within a year. Tylee had lost her father. JJ had lost his father. And of course, Tylee's stepfather was Charles as well. So that $6,000 was earmarked from the government for the children, not Lori. She wasn't in that equation. But that's why she never reported them missing. One, she couldn't because she was part of the murders because she's part of the enterprise. But 2, she couldn't report children missing because they would have stopped the $6,000 right then and there. It's a little click on the computer. So yes, that's how it shakes out. So with this said, the only money that they ended up getting was the $6,000 from the kids and the $430. But you got to remember, they all needed cuts. I'm wondering if Alex was killed because they didn't want to give him his cut. That $430, there was too many pieces of that $430,000 pie that needed to go elsewhere, not just to the hitman. So I'm wondering if they murdered Alex Cox in whatever way they could to make it look like natural death, because they did not want to give him his cut. Of course, Melanie Pulowski is always entitled because she's just an entitled person. You know, those people that tell the truth. So what makes this an enterprise, or what makes this racketeering? When you threaten someone, racketeering is when you're holding something over someone's head. So let's use this as an example. Let's use this as a big example. Do you remember Charles saying, she told me she'd kill me if I outed her? She told me she would kill me if I tried to do anything to either stop her from doing what she was doing or interfere with whatever she was involved with. Do you remember those words from Lori? Well, she was saying, if you don't do this, you will be taken care of. That's what leads it into racketeering. Racketeering is when you give threats to someone. If you shake, they call it shaking you down. They say, okay, you're privy to this knowledge. You better not say a word, or none of your family members will be alive. Something like that. That's an example. That's a shakedown. Oh, you know about our gambling? You know that we're racketeering by gambling? And there was like a mention that you might go to the police. You do, and you're dead. It's the same as what Lori said to Charles, and Charles repeated, not only to the first police, the first night when his truck was stolen, and he had the bishop drive him to his house and the cops broke in. Not only that night did he repeat that, but he repeated what she said to the next set of cops. It was the next day at the hotel. They met him out in front of the hotel. He also repeated it that same afternoon when Lori went into the police station and she tried to retrieve her pocketbook via the police. He repeated the same words, that she's inferring or blatantly telling me I will get killed if I expose her, if I get in her way. That is called racketeering. It's doing something that you're shaking someone down with. You're doing something that you want to be done discreetly, but the person is saying, I'm going to expose you. So you go and you shake that person down by saying, I'm going to kill you, or I'll do something to your family, or something like that, something along that lines. So that's why it can be considered, people say, well, how can it be considered racketeering? You're threatening to do harm if another doesn't go with your program. I am sure Lori must have done the same to Tylee, held her down, let's say handcuffed her, not literally, figuratively handcuffed Tylee to say, you keep your mouth shut or this may happen. There's no question in my mind that poor Tylee was living in extreme fear with extreme details of illegal activities from the Chad, Lori, Daybell enterprise, their family enterprise. You could call it the Cox family, because Melanie's a Cox, Alex was a Cox, Janice is a Cox, Summer's a Cox, Lori's a Cox. Yes, Chad's not a Cox, but damn, he could have been born under the same family. He's just as much as an idiot as the rest of them. And he's just as mean. And he's just as ugly. And he believes in ugly. He believes in shaking down people. And I'm sure with his little preparing of a people status that he was so well liked in the preparing of people, that he shook down people without even knowing they were being shook down. all of this stuff they say has to be done discreetly. Well, they said he used to venture over to people's homes. Can you imagine how he scared people subtly in their homes, telling them, oh, you know, I can see beyond the veil. And, you know, it doesn't look good for you there, or it doesn't look good for you here, or it doesn't look good for your family member, or your family member's dark, or your family member's this. He was shaking down people with all of that nonsense talk. He was making them fear. He used fear and intimidation. Whether it was overt, I've talked about this, was it overt? Did he go to people's house and just come out and say, hey, I got a gun in my pocket, be fearful? No, it was that subtle, maniacal, crazy, dangerous fear that he used to keep people figuratively handcuffed to him. So with that said, with all of my babbling, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read. First, I'll just read kind of a little introduction to RICO. And I want your thoughts. If you're new, if you've just joined in, please write your thoughts, your comments, write whatever you're thinking of about RICO as I read about RICO. I have many different explanations of RICO here, but I'm going to start out with just a generic one so it's easy reading and it's easy understanding. I don't want to go into the laws because then I have to read, you know, sections and all that stuff. So right now, RICO. There are 3 elements to RICO. And you guys tell me right in the chat. I'm going to see if I can see you. I haven't been able to see you in chat. So before I start the RICO, I'm going to see if somehow I can get you in chat. Yeah, I see you. Okay. Let me see. Okay, hi everybody. Hi Manuela. Hi Patricia. Zuaga. I don't know how to say that. Sorry if I butcher your name. Sunshine, Daffodil, Rebel, Hannah, Diana. Let me see who else is here. Claudia, Barbara. Hi, everybody. We're going to be reading right now. I'm going to start to read the RICO, just a nice definition, an easy definition that I took off the internet. So there's got to be 3 parts. There's got to be criminal activity. That's one part. There's got to be a pattern of criminal activity. So there's got to be criminal activity, and then there's got to be a pattern of criminal activity. And it only needs to be 2. That's the lucky thing. It doesn't have to be 18 different elements of a pattern. It only has to be 2. And then 3, it's got to be within the statute of limitation. That would mean the Supreme Court gives you about 4 years from the time you find out you've been the victim of a RICO criminal act. You got 4 years from the time that you discover that you are the victim. And I'm going to share this with you because RICO can go criminally and they can go civilly. So you can go after a group of people in a civil nature or in a criminal court. And if you go after them civilly, and if you get awarded, the awards are phenomenal. That's what makes RICO nice for victims. If you can't charge people under the criminal courts because they don't meet all the prongs of the RICO statute, then at least you have the opportunity as a victim of the crimes. And that could mean you're the sister of the person that was murdered. you could be the grandparents of the person that was murdered. You could be a loved one in some capacity. You could be a victim as a victim. Anyone that got victimized can go after them using the RICO statute. And the RICO statute allows a much better payout in the civil courts than they do in the criminal courts, or if they do at all in the criminal courts. In other words, if you took each person individually to court and charged them, the payout would be less. But if you take them as a RICO charge, then the payout's better. So that's a good thing to know if anybody out there is a victim of an enterprise, like in this case, as I believe. So that's a side note. So what I'm going to read right now is those. It's going to be criminal activity. It's going to be a pattern with at least 2 crimes. It's going to be within the statute of limitation. You know, it's 4 years. RICO is a powerful and complex. If you think you've been seriously injured by criminal activity that is covered by RICO, consult with a lawyer to see if you have a case. But make sure it's worth the effort. Like, don't go ahead and try to pursue a RICO case if it's not worth the effort. So that's the first part. That's just an overview of what needs to be fulfilled. Okay, so RICO stands for Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations. It otherwise is known as the RICO law. The Federal Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organization, RICO law, was passed in 1970 as the ultimate hitman in mob prosecutions. Prior to RICO, prosecutors could only try mob-related crimes individually. So if there was a mob-related family, obviously, they had to try each person in that family individually for the same crimes. Since different mobsters perpetrated each crime, the government could only prosecute individual criminals instead of shutting down an entire criminal organization. Today, the government really uses RICO against the mafia. Instead, because the law is so broad, both governmental and civil parties use it against all sorts of enterprises, both legal and illegal. So there we go, guys. That's what I was talking about. It doesn't have to be a legal enterprise. It can be an enterprise, which essentially means you're all working for the same mission. That's essentially the fast and easy definition of an enterprise, a group of people who are working for the same mission. And it can be the group of people that are legally in a legal enterprise or an illegal one. So if they're in the legal one, then they're committing crimes in that legal enterprise. But in this case, that doesn't even meet any qualifications for this enterprise, the Daybell one, because they're definitely illegal. They were under the scope of anyone doing a business. They were doing this business in the most discreet manner. They were talking about this, behind closed doors. RICO allows for prosecution of all individuals involved in a corrupt organization. For mob prosecutions, that means that the government can go after top leadership as well as hitmen and capos. So let's stop right there. I'm being just a real pain in the neck because I want to stop there because it says for mob prosecutions, change out the word mob for Lori and Chad's enterprise. So for Lori and Chad's prosecution, that means that the government can go after the top leadership, Lori and Chad, as well as the hit men and the capos. The hitman that we know of thus far is Alex. The capos would be all the people on the periphery doing all the parts that they needed to do to make sure that the murders happened. And that would be Melanie Pulowski, Summer doing her part, Janice doing her part, Ian, later on doing his part, whoever else was involved. And RICO established much enhanced sentences, as well as John L. Smith described the impact of RICO in an article for the Las Vegas Review. This is what John Smith says. After RICO, mob families began to crack under the very real threat that the members and associates could be indicted en masse for a wide range of criminal activity. Even the strongest stand-up guy would have trouble fading the 20-year and more sentences that began accompanying RICO convictions. So they're saying those mobsters, when they started using RICO, they became soft. They were very stand-up guys. They did everything for their mob family. And all of a sudden, they started to falter in their loyalties and in their strength because of the penalties that RICO gave the prosecutors to convict these people with. While RICO was originally aimed at the mafia, over the past 37 years, prosecutors have used it to attack many forms of organized crime. So they've used it for street gangs. They've used it for gang cartels. They've used it, listen to this one. I know a lot of you will be clapping your hands here because you're mad at the police. They have used it for corrupt police departments and even politicians. Can you imagine that? Corrupt police. They have used, instead of going after one police officer, that's what this is saying, they went off after the bulk of them. Whoever was involved with the illegal activity within a legal organization. A police department's a legal enterprise. But obviously, if they're going after members of the police department, they were going after a certain amount of people or police officers or police employees who were involved in criminal activity. So they would take them down in one swipe, not prosecuting each one individually. That's what RICO does. That's the strength of RICO. RICO prosecutes in a swath, takes them out in a swath, and sentences them with a big swath. So instead of having to say, oh, Lori was the murderer, Chad was the murderer, they don't have to find out. Well, I guess they have to find out who they think the murderer was, but they charge all of them with the same charge. That's the elegance of RICO. RICO is elegant. It's elegant because it can take a group of people that think, oh, I only had a small part. I only made the phone calls to the insurance company, pretending I was Charles. Or I only made sure that Tylee was going to be home that night. Or I only drove Tylee to the place where she might be murdered and buried and destroyed. It doesn't matter what your part, as long as you're dealing with the nefarious acts, the criminal acts, you're part of how RICO can be used. So there you go, guys. If you're mad at the police department, I have a different idea about what happened with the police department. I don't think it's this big conspiracy that people are putting out there, that all the departments from, Arizona to Idaho, LDS, and they were protecting the enterprise, the Daybell, Lori Daybell, Chad Daybell enterprise. I don't think so. I just don't think that that's true. Do I think they flirted with Lori, a few of them? Do I think they sided with her light little soft voice and thought she was benign? Of course I do. But do I think that there was a network of police officers? I think that Jason Moe that everyone talks about, that used to be a police, that was part of Preparing the People, and that were very friendly with Lori and Melanie Gibb, I think he's useless. I think, he wasn't well liked in the police. They got rid of him. It was either go, Jason, or we're going to put you under the strictest investigation, and you're going to go anyway. So either go on your own, or we're going to make you go. So I don't buy into it. You guys can have another opinion, of course. You can think that the police were all corrupt and they're all LDS or Mormons or whatever you want to call them, and that they were protecting Lori because of the fact that Lori claimed she was the leader of the 144,000. So that gave her status. I call BS on that. I call big BS on that. No police is going to care about the 144,000 when he's working the streets in the nights. So of course there's the civil RICO, and I just went over that, how RICO can work. If they can't charge you with criminal, the family members, the loved ones, the victims of all of these people that have been killed, that's Charles, Tylee, JJ, and Tammy, and they can go after the whole enterprise. That would mean, of course, the living, Lori, Chad, Melanie Pulowski, Summer, Shitlet, and the rest of them. Alex is dead, so here we go. The civil RICO. Even though RICO threatens very long prison terms for racketeers, the law's real power is its civil component. Okay, so what they're saying, even though that RICO has big fists when it comes to criminal activity and charged on the criminal side of the courts, it has its real big fists when it's a civil court. Anyone can bring a civil suit if they've been injured by a RICO violation. And if they win, they receive treble damages, which means as big as it can get, as big as the damages can get. So that's what I'm saying about the civil court. When you're a victim of the crimes, when it's been a RICO criminal act. In the 1980s, civil lawyers attempted to fit many different claims inside of RICO, but in the 90s, the federal court set up a number of hurdles for civil RICO claims. To succeed on a RICO claim, a plaintiff must show, and that's what I read you. Remember, I read you, they must show that there's criminal activity. You must show that the defendant committed one of the enumerated RICO crimes, which include the broad crimes of mail and wire fraud. If you bring a claim on a fraud basis, however, the court will apply strict scrutiny. Now, there's 35 different crimes that fall under the RICO statute. One of the crimes is murder. Another one is conspiracy. It is 33 more beyond that. Okay, so just to give you an idea. Then, of course, the pattern of criminal activity. Has there been a pattern? One crime is not enough. You have to show a pattern of at least 2 crimes. A pattern requires the crimes to be related in some way. Same victim, same method, same participants. Or continuous, meaning it was conducted over at least a year. Oh my God. This was going on for a year until Chad got arrested in June when they found the bodies. Lori was threatening to kill Charles in January of 2019. She did execute that killing in July of 2019. Come June 9th of 2020, they unearthed the egregiously maimed bodies of JJ and Tylee. So it all fits in that. Within the statutes, you've already heard about that. It's a 4-year statute. Okay? So you've heard that. So let me see what else I got here. Okay. So to use this, okay, so this is how you violate RICO. So in other words, we know when we drive on the road, the laws of the road, right? So this is the laws of RICO. What violates the laws of RICO? To violate RICO, a person must engage in a pattern of racketeering activity connected to an enterprise. We've already said, what is the racketeering? It's saying, Charles, if you munch the word, if you tell anyone what I'm doing, I'm going to kill you. That's racketeering. When you shake people down, when you tell them that if they perform this, you will do that. That's an example of racketeering, shaking someone down. So to violate RICO, a person must engage in a pattern of racketeering activity connected to an enterprise. We've already established they're an enterprise. What makes an enterprise? A group of people, more than 2. 2 or more, I should say, that have the same missions. They want to commit the same crimes together. And they all might not commit the worst crime, which might be murder. They might just make the phone call to the insurance company, or they might drive by someone's house to check if they're home, to see if the hitman can go and shoot them, that type of thing. So they have to be part of the enterprise, and they can be charged again with the murder because they're part of the enterprise, not because they murdered. They didn't murder. They're just part of the enterprise. The law defines 35 offenses, and here are some of them. This constitutes racketeering, including gambling, murder, kidnapping, arson. I'm going to stop at that one. I hate to say it, but was there arson involved? Was there arson involved in the deaths of the children? Was there arson to cover up a crime? Did they commit arson to cover up their crime of murder? So far, it says of those 35 offenses, it's gambling, it's murder. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on one second. I'm reading something. Glowing Ember, I've dealt with DJ Norman a lot in the past. I'm going to interrupt right here. I see that you're saying he's doing a lot of hate and lies. I'm going to change that to him they're not hate and lies, and I'm not going to protect him, and I'm not saying he's right. What I'm saying is it's his experiences. We don't all have the same experiences with our churches. We don't have all the same experiences. Like, for instance, with the Catholic Church, I had a very, very bad experience with the Catholic Church. Do I hold everybody responsible? No. Do I say that the whole church is responsible for this one man through the Catholic Church? No, I don't. But it's my opinion, and I haven't followed what he says, but DJ does have the right to have his experience, and he can denote that, like, put that, say, this is my experience. And if he poses it in that terms, that means he's not shutting down the whole church. Because I do not believe in my heart that everybody that's an LDS person, a Mormon, is a bad person, a Lori and Chad Daybell. No, there is no way you could ever convince me that 17,000 people worldwide are bad. I'd say most of them are good people, but there are going to be a few, and there's going to be a few of us in these chats that have had bad experiences with different religions. And yes, some of these religions have quite unique ideas in them. Most do. But level-headed people walk by those unique ideas. They go, oh yeah, those are a little far out for me. We're awfully sorry that the Lori and Chad have blemished 17,000 people in this world right now because of what they've done in this enterprise. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Rebel. Hi, Manuel. Hi, everyone. I know that there's victims of church abuse in here, and they talk in that fashion because they have been abused by a particular church. It doesn't mean that all LDS and all Mormon people are bad. It means the most of them are like us. They want the greater good in this world. But some of the teachings in the Mormon church might make crazies like Lori and Chad not walk by the teachings. We need to walk by a lot of teachings in our life. And so, hi, Dylan. So yes, I want to just welcome DJ and anyone that's been here that might have had abuses from the church. DJ has disclosed them. And I'm not saying from the church. I'm saying from particular people within the church have done some people wrong. Oh, nice, Kelly. I'm glad to know that. No, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, Kelly. Yeah. No, Rebel, Lori hasn't called me from her jail cell. I didn't throw her enough quarters to call me. Should I? I'm just kidding. Hey, Kelly, I don't know that answer. I would think it would be on a federal level. So yes, it could be oversighted by the FBI, but that I can't answer. All through this, it always says prosecutor. When I read in the RICO, it says prosecutor. Hi, Janine. My heart keeps loving in the worst of times right now. Janine, how is your health? Forget about RICO. Just think of yourself, Janine. Welcome, everybody, as Rebel is so graciously saying. Hi, Kevin. Kevin, you got any music for us tonight when I'm done? If I ever get stopped talking about what's in these papers, I'll finish. Let me finish. And yes, I'll finish. The criminal RICO. That means the criminal RICO that would go to a criminal court, not a civil court. To violate RICO, a person must engage in a pattern of racketeering activity connected to an enterprise. The law defines 35 offenses as constituting racketeering, including gambling, murder, kidnapping, arson. Poor Tylee. Poor Tylee. That was awesome personified. Drug dealing, bribery. Now there we go. Bribery. You do this or I'll do that. You do something bad or something worse will happen to you. That's bribery. So these are just a sampling of some RICO criminal offenses that constitute charging them under the RICO statute. These crimes are known as predicate offenses. To charge under RICO, at least 2 predicate crimes within 10 years must have been committed through the enterprise. We got more than 2. We got 4 deaths. We got the arson of Tylee. They destroyed her body by arson. We got the, what else would fall under the RICO? Can you guys tell me what would fall? Write in the chat what would fall under this predicate crimes for the last 10 years. Now, it says here, note that an enterprise is required. This might be a crime family. That's what we got here. We got a crime family. We can call it the Cox crime family. We can call it the Cox Daybell crime family, because most of them were Coxes, as I said before. Okay. Christians know that the LDS is a cult. Read up on Joseph Smith. Okay, but that all religions start out as a cult. I'm not gonna change this to identifying what religions are a cult. All religions are cult. That's how they start. When a religion starts, it's because somebody has some ideas about religious things, beliefs, and they take it and they start meeting. Like when I was a child, I'll give you an example. I lived next to a gigantic park in the city, and I was just a little child. But I can't remember if it was Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, a woman around the other side of the park would have all us children come to our house, and we'd learn about Jesus Christ. We'd read all the books and the Bibles and the study guides and all the things that she had. And that's when I had learned news. The word news comes because all of the shepherds come from the north, the east, the west, and the south to give the news of their communities. That's where it came from, the shepherds, news. So, but anyways, you could have considered us a cult. You know why? Because we were just a neighborhood group of people that would meet on Saturday morning. Just because it's a cult doesn't mean it's bad. Just because it started as people determined as a cult doesn't mean it grew up to be bad. All churches started out as small groups of people that took their beliefs and stretched them to other people. So when you say it's a cult, you're talking about every major religion in this world right now. They started out as a small group. They just weren't born a major group of a religion. So I don't want to get into this. I'm talking about RICO. RICO's my man right now, and I'm staying with RICO. So anyways, here's RICO. So there was an article in, I was reading about the criminal activity. So it has to be within a 10-year span. So, of course, we all know that an enterprise is required. And it could be a crime family, a street gang, or a drug cartel. But it may also be a corporation, okay? So RICO could go after a legal corporation for their illegal activities. They could go after a legal political party for their illegal, criminal activities, or a managed care company. It could be any group of people that do illegal things. The enterprise just has to be a discrete entity. Now listen to this, guys. Please write down in the comments of the chat. Listen to what I'm saying. The enterprise just has to be a discrete entity. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yes. What does a discrete entity mean? It means they have to be on the down low. A discrete entity, they cannot be up front. Now, what did Melanie Gibb always say? Melanie Gibb said they were always chitter-chattering secretly, privately, about things that shouldn't be talked about. Now, because she is so ill-equipped to deal with ideas and to distribute them to the public, we can only imagine what she means. But hey, human animal. So anyways, hey, I'm glad you caught that pigeon today. I hope it's all right. Where is that pigeon? Thus, a corporation may be the enterprise through which individuals commit crimes. So the enterprise has to be a discreet, secretive, like Lori and Chad were doing. We're having the day that Charles got killed, they had a meeting out at the pool, a very secretive, discreet meeting. That's an enterprise. But it can't be both an individual and an enterprise. Well, we're not talking about an individual here. We're talking about a group of people that have a common denominator. They all want money via murder. They all want money via murder. That's their enterprise. The criminal RICO statute provides for prison terms of 20 years and severe financial penalties. The law also allows prosecutors to attach assets. So obviously, if they have assets, if they own a home, like Chad Daybell does, they can attach his home. So they can be whisked out of the country, so that they can't be whisked out of the country before judgment. Oh, isn't that something? So what do you guys think thus far? That was just the simple one. That's just the simple definition of RICO. Okay? Yeah. You know what's funny? Not really. You know what I agree with everyone that has said? They killed Tylee because she knew too much and she was going to give them up at some point. Okay? I believe that. And she was worth $6,000 dead. And they killed JJ because Tylee wasn't around to take care of him anymore. Simple as that. Simple as that. Let's get off with it. This isn't a religious show. I don't want to hear anything about religion. I don't want to be a commando. But let's get off it because we're talking about RICO. We're not trying to identify who's the worst religion in the world. If you want to say that, I'll name mine. Even, like I can identify really bad parts of my own. Thank you, Poppies. Poppies in Normandy. Share with you, Poppy's relatives served in the war. Oh my God. Rebel Rose. Everyone pray for Rebel. She might need neck surgery. Very, 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 very hard surgery for anyone. The neck bone connects to the, you know what I mean, that song. It's very serious. There's no religion being discussed. Great. I just don't want Mormons to be offended. We shouldn't offend Mormons, just like you can't offend Orthodox. You can't offend Catholics, because we're not all built the same. You know that there's some people that go to church and they're fake. We all know that. The fake religious people. And then we know that most of them go there and they're real. Let's leave it like that. Yep, Golden Mia, I agree. Yeah, I agree, Golden Mia. There's a lot of wrongs in this world. So anyways, guys, how you doing, everybody? Are we ready for the real technical RICO? Are we gonna? So what did we learn? Did we learn that you have to shake down someone and make them fearful? That's racketeering. When you shake, yes, it's very scary. Cat, hi, Cat. Cat's the one that got me on tonight. He gave it to me this morning. He said, "Where are you? We want you." So here I am, Cat. I wonder why Lori would take the time to enroll JJ into an Idaho school only to kill him. I know, because Alexandra, my belief is Tylee always took care of him. So it was the first time that she had to take care of JJ on her own and couldn't do it. He was climbing the refrigerator. Shake down. Yes, they have to shake down people to be Kelly. Shake down. I think Tylee was shaken down the most. Yes, Kelly. 100%. She was so abused. What does that do, Daffodil, if we look it up on RICO? I mean, if we look up RICO on Wikipedia. Ready? My dad got a shakedown from the Las Vegas mall, beat up. Oh my God, Lisa. Oh, I believe it. They did it. They did it in Boston area. There was a lot of deaths, shootings in the Boston area back in those days. Now, mind you, RICO got enacted in 1970 because the mob activity was very heavy. No, the RICO can combine all of the crimes under one umbrella and charge everyone for murder. Instead of charging Janice Cox, for instance, for lying about talking to JJ, they can put all the members of the group under one umbrella. That's all RICO means, is a big umbrella to catch a group of people involved, no matter what their involvement, no matter how small or how big. Did they murder? Did they murder or did they make a phone call? It doesn't matter. They all get charged with murder. That's what RICO does. Multi-sirens, so she says, how is this legal? Lori said she was homeschooling. Can you imagine Lori attempting to homeschool Oh, right. Yes, I can imagine. Crazy, huh? She can't homeschool a mouse and a rat in a trap, right? She can't homeschool Pablo's dog. Pablo's dog that was already schooled. Kevin says, I know a really handsome name, RICO. Oh. And Kevin, is that a joke? Are you saying RICO better get a bulletproof vest? I don't know. I get in the middle of these chats and yeah. So anyways, do you all get it? Can I get oh, good. This is a good time. Either give me go on the thumbs down. I don't care where you put it because I can't see how many thumbs up I have. But go give me a thumbs something in the chat. Like, that, what are they called? Not icons, but the other things. What are they called when you can make a character on the chat? You can put like a face of a cat or yeah. I want to see how many of you really understand how RICO works now. And with that understanding, put a check mark that you understand, but put yes or no if you think it's viable in this case. Emoji. Yes, thank you. I never remember these names. Put an emoji of a thumbs up and then put a yes or a no if you think it could be viable, prosecutorial law that could help the prosecutor prosecute these people. You're all saying yes. Good. Thank you, Daffodil. She says yes, too. Great. I think that's why I brought it up, guys. I see the underpinnings of RICO are the same underpinnings of their enterprise. We call it cult. I'll graduate them to a fancier name. It's an enterprise. It's a group of people that want to murder for money. They have a mission. There's more than two of them. They've done more than 2 crimes in a year's time. What do you mean, Kevin? You wrote everything that's been videotaped between Lori and the police will be scrutinized by some intelligent investigators and they will get what they deserve. You mean if the police did something wrong in those interviews? You guys would throw mud on me if I gave you my opinion. So I'm going to keep my opinion on the down low because I don't want you to think that I'm pro-police because I'm not. I'm open. I'm open, but I don't think it's as easy as everyone thinks to do what we would have liked to have done. That would be like saying the doctors should have known that it was X cancer and not Y cancer. How many times does a doctor make the mistake and treat? I'll give you an instance. My uncle died of lung cancer. They did a surgery on his head like 5 months before. If they had never opened him up in his head, he would be alive today. But when they opened him up, they made the cancer, spread. So I guess I'm trying to say the same idea. Is it really another RICO matter? Do we got two RICO matters? Do we got the Lori Daybell, Chad Daybell enterprise? And do we have the police departments involved in illegal activity? Because that's what people have suggested. People have suggested that the police were involved in illegal activity. I'm going to share one thing with you. The VALLOW family do not believe so. I'll repeat that. The VALLOW people the VALLOW family members would like us to stop blaming the police. The reason is they feel that the police are doing the best they can. So, not that we have to go, but they are the victims, and they do have the first say. The VALLOW family have stated, yes, you're right, Graham, says Kevin. RICO and other laws will keep Lori and Chad in prison for, they need to be in there for life. But to catch them all, see, that's where I'm thinking out of the box, because I really want them to grab all of them. See, I want Melanie Pulowski in prison for trying to kill her husband. I want Summer Shitlet in prison for sending her hitman brother Alex over to kill Charles. I want Janice in prison for lying and saying she had a full conversation with JJ when the evidence shows that he was dead. I want Lori in prison for covering up the deaths of her family and acting like she was a goddess and that all of us were wrong. There's so many I want, it's unbelievable. Oh, come on. Sorry, but your police are called law officers. Ours are called peace officers. It's the training. Was Joseph Ryan killed Arizona, Daffodil, Arizona. And he had moved there to be close to Tylee. He had given up his job in Texas and had moved to Arizona. He took a position with a big pay cut to be next to Tylee, and then he dies. Yes, Rebel, that's what I'm saying. I want them all in prison because to me they are the mafia. It's the Cox family mafia. And then did two mob families meld together? Did two mob families meld together? When Lori met Chad, or when Lori started delving into Chad's beliefs, was it two mafia type families meeting? Is that why we haven't heard anything from the 5 children? Are they little Chads? I'm sorry if they're victims. I'm going to say this out. If they are victims of Chad, I am very sorry. If they are not victims of Chad, then I want them under RICO. The enterprise just has to be a discrete entity, but an enterprise is not the same as an individual. Thus, a corporation may be the enterprise through which individuals commit crimes. Correct. So it can be an illegal entity or an illegal one. So let's say, for instance, I own Gumshoe Graham's mom and pop store. but I'm doing gambling. I'm taking sports bets and that kind of thing in my store. So I don't want to be sexist, but a lot of young men are coming in, giving me cash, putting down money to bet on a team that night. That's a legal activity in a legal store. In the Cox case, they were in a legal, they weren't a legal entity. It wasn't like Chad was using his publishing company to front this group. They had made up their own enterprise. And it was an illegal enterprise because the mission of the enterprise was illegal. The mission of the mom and pop store is to sell goods. But I added the gambling in with it because I wasn't making enough money in my mom and pop store, so I added gambling. That's my example. In Chad's group, they were an illegal enterprise because none of them had incomes. None of them worked. None of them were worthy. And on top of it, they had to do illegal things, like simple things that we do every day. Just kidding. They had to murder to make money. So that's how you divide it, from a legal entity to an illegal entity. The burden of proof is less onerous than in the criminal court. A preponderance of the evidence standard applies. So a lesser form. The standard is less under RICO. The standard of proofs is the preponderance of the evidence. So if we take all of the evidence that we know, that we people know, we don't even know, we only know a small fraction of what the law enforcement know. But just what we know about Lori and Chad and the rest of the enterprise, if we take all of that evidence and pile it up, it leads to the preponderance of the evidence, leads to that, yes, they were involved with the murder. The other one, what's the other one, Golden Mare? The other one is beyond a reasonable doubt, BARD, beyond a reasonable doubt. That one's a much higher standard, that there can't be any doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt, there cannot be any doubt in your mind that they didn't perform these heinous acts of murder of Charles, Tylee, JJ, and Tammy. So that's a much higher standard than what she's saying RICO falls under. And I'm calling Golden Mare RICO, her, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't mean any harm. Family victims of them could go RICO, do themselves, not the government. Of course, yes, exactly. Right. Right, Manuela. Did I say that wrong? Not any doubt. The reasonable doubt standard is the highest. There cannot be any doubt that a reasonable mind would make. It can't be any. You're right. No doubt at all. The other one, the preponderance of the evidence, just means you got a pile of evidence, and in that whole evidence, does it lead to the assumption that they did it? So it's a much lower standard. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday night. I'm here in the river. How's everyone doing? So now you see why I went with the RICO. I'm not sure if all the prongs have been met. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a district attorney. I'm not in their courthouse. I'm not in Idaho. Oh, thank you. It now see, you're seeing it as blue, I'm seeing it as green. Same thing. Yeah, I'll see if I can make the river show. Just I don't know if a little bit of a river action there. Can you see the river? I'm going to take the river out. I'm happy and spending time with Gumshoe Graham and all of you, says Hurricane Holly. Hi, Hurricane Holly. Thank you so much. It's blue? I'm colorblind, so you're probably right. I'm seeing like emerald green. But maybe it changes. I don't know. You can see the river? Yeah, it's white and gray. Yeah, it does look white and gray. It's very hot here. I'd say it feels 94 to me right now. That's a guess. I don't have any outside thermometers or whatever. Thank you, Rebel. It's 1:30 a.m. on Saturday morning in England. I should be sleeping, but I woke up and found where you were. Oh, thank you, Mary. How you doing, Mary? Lori and Chad aren't religious. They are criminal. Yes, Kevin, that's exact. If we stay, Kevin, you bring out a very good lead-in to what I've been trying to say. If we focus that this is a religious group gone bad, then we're not focusing on crimes. That's why your statement is so pertinent. Lori and Chad aren't religious. They are criminals. We got to stay focused on crimes because their religion did not make them do this. They are responsible for their actions. Just like I'm not, I was going to use, no, I can't, I'm not going to use a religious example because I might make someone feel bad. So I'm going to skip that idea. But anyways, Kevin's right. This is criminality in the rawest form. This isn't about religion. This is people taking religion, twisting it to make them feel righteous, make them feel superior over everybody else in the world. I'm taking a voice break right here. My voice gets sore. So that's about my spiel, because I think I'll do the more technical. I'll go into the real the law. I will read you it's called the 18 U.S. Code 1961 definitions, and it will tell you about racketeering and whatnot, and what an enterprise. But it's very technical, and I don't want to bore you. I already read you the less technical, the one that gives you kind of the anecdotal, how it can be used. It's so gorgeous with the blue bigrams. Gorgeous. Oh, bye, Shannon. I didn't even see you here before. Have a great evening. It must be what, like 6:30 there in Idaho? Or 5:30? Yes, Golden Mia, the 1 year. Yeah, the crimes were occurred over. They did occur over 1 year. Charles was killed in July, but they were planning it. They were planning the actual crime way before. When in January of 2019, Lori was threatening to kill him if he got in her way of her missions. So yes, that gives a solid year. That gives a solid year, and they were still doing criminal activity in January of 2020 when the police had asked them to produce the children, and they did not produce the children. So that goes a whole year, January of 2019 to January of 2020. In February of 2020, on the 20th, she got arrested, and she's been in jail since that date. So that's well over a year of criminal activity. Trying to steal out of his insurance account, trying to block him out, preparing for the murder. There was a lot of preparation prior to Charles's murder going on behind the scenes. Still 90F in my garage in Boise. Oh my word. Oh yeah. Well, I'm sitting here in Florida, Lisa, and I'm sitting here. It must be in my yard with the winds of the river. Must be 92 to 94. That's what it feels like to me. Oh, I'm glad you're relaxing over RICO, Venus. My back is killing me from a nerve. Oh yeah, bum in 6 places. Yeah, sorry about that, Venus. No, someone just had a shoulder a replacement of their shoulder. Oh, you didn't mean to say goodbye? My hands aren't following my brain? Oh, same with me. So what else have you learned? Can you tell me? I know that there's been a few of you in here really explaining what RICO means to you. Is there anyone else in here that has any ideas about RICO or how it can be used and the benefit of it and all that stuff? I really like to talk about my favorite friend this week. It's RICO. Now, a month ago, I've been online, about 6 weeks now to 7 weeks, and I talked about this within the first week, but very lightly. But when I heard people were funneling towards the religious as the criminality, they're not going to go into court. They might use part of the religious stuff as motives or a baseline to give them the idea, but they're not going to use it in court. They got to stick to the crimes. They can't go in and start using the Bible or the Bible that Chad and Lori supposedly go by, their own Bible, in the court. They got to go by laws. If they get charged under RICO, I will be jumping for joy. Me too. See, that's what I want to do, guys. See, that's really what this is about. Retribution. Gumshoe Graham and Retribution. I want them all to pay for all of the deaths. And of course, especially the children. Tammy had almost 50 years of life. Too short, of course. Charles had 62 years of life. Too short, of course. But JJ was 7 and Tylee was 16. I only want retribution for all of the players in this. I want the Cox family, including the Daybell, whoever was involved on that side, to pay dearly for taking those two kids away from the world. No. No, it will. For the murders, it will, Manuela. For the murders, it will. I don't know, Manuela, you're bringing up a good idea. And I know that it read that there's a 20 years for RICO. That's what, in big fines. But I'm not sure exactly how that works when it's murder. So I'm keeping my eyes and ears open to a difference when it's murder. Okay? No, I agree with you. I thought the same, Manuela. Everything that is data, and I mean all electronic data, is stored on NSA servers for a period of time. NSA is in Saratoga Springs, Utah. They get a temple soon. Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that they sort. That's good. I hope the FBI can get their hands on it, James. So, yeah. So Manuela brought up a good point. What I read in this little unofficial definition of RICO, it mentions that it's 20 years and big fines. So she has concern that, and rightfully so, that that's not enough of a sentence for them. And that's why it's a question mark. The good thing is how it nets them all. It's like taking a fishing net and throwing it in this river right now and getting all the crooks. I like that part of RICO, that it collects them all, and it collects them all with the same crime. Just because you only made a phone call doesn't mean you get out of it. That's my point with RICO. Yeah, they can tack, listen to this, Manuela. This is how I was thinking of it. They can tack all those other crimes on them, like the conspiracy ones, all those other crimes that they have. I don't know if they can be consecutive or not. Like, I don't know if they can put other charges beyond the RICO. I'm not an attorney. I'm only a thinker. So I don't know how that works. So does it behoove us? I'm dreaming that Melanie Pawlowski goes to prison for having her husband shot at. She wanted him dead with her aunt so she could have $1 million so that they could pay Alex that what he didn't get when he killed Charles. When he killed Charles, he was supposed to get a certain amount of money, and he didn't get it. Then they killed the kids because they were tight on money and they needed the $6,000 a month. So they killed them to pay their rents. And then they killed, or tried to kill, Brandon Boudreaux for the next $1 million. They didn't get it. They still needed money, so they killed Tammy. It's all about the money. That Chad with the Beyond the Veil. Oh, yeah. It's Tammy's time. I see Beyond the Veil. It's Tammy's time to die. They're waiting for her over there. They got their arms wide open. What a bunch of BS, huh? An MS-13 member pleaded guilty on Friday, March 30, 2018, in federal court in Boston to racketeering conspiracy involving the murder of a 15-year-old boy in East Boston. And what did he get, Golden Mayor? You're coming up with some good stuff. I was going to read some Supreme Court case studies, but I couldn't find reading glasses. I just in this week, I think I need reading glasses all the time now. I used to just need them when I woke up. Now I think I need them day in, day out. Yeah. You can see how this went. You can see that this was all about getting the money. Hey, it kind of looks like Christmas, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like Christmas with all those sparkles? I love those sparkles. I hope they don't attract insects. I hope that's why my ankles aren't being bitten. Or are being bitten. Yeah. Let me see what Golden Mayor. Matthew Dines, 33 years old, of Buffalo, New York, who was convicted of racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization conspiracy, was sentenced to 125 months in prison. How many years is that, Golden Mayor? How many years is 125 months? 12 into 12? 10 years, right? Is that 10 years? 10 point something and a half? Someone give me that math so I don't have to. Looks like sunset and pear. It is. It really. Oh, yeah. Can you see? I'm wondering if you can see. Can you see the palm trees? See, I can't see what you guys see. I'm trying to put it so you can see like the palm trees going right down the canal. There's a line of palm trees. Thank you, Rebel. So include Julie on that list. Yes, thank you, Lisa. I do forget her. For some reason, I don't know why, Lisa, I always forget about Julie Rowe. What about Jason Moe? What about the cop, the ex-cop, Jason Moe? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but what they did to those kids, they'll never get out of that. Who didn't Chad say he married in previous life? Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I thought he was married to Marilyn Monroe, Janine. Wasn't he one of Marilyn? And maybe Elizabeth Taylor, too? Glowing ember. It reminds me of little fairies sprinkling their sparkly dust. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called, but that's what it does. And there's different designs and different colors, different swirls. It's an electronic thing. Yes, Golden Mia. You can write, Golden Mia, if it's easier for you, you can write and then I'll join the two together. If you know what I mean? Like I can look back and I find it the same because it's hard to write with 200 character. Yeah, who else can make the list, guys? That's a good job right now while you're enjoying the sparkles. Everyone loves sparkles. Make the list who should go under RICO. I want to know who you think needs to be in RICO. And not Puerto Rico either. RICO, our best friend. The chair looks like it's moving. Huh. No, it's just sitting there, unoccupied. I thought the cat would go in it, but the cat wanted to get up on the table. Okay. RICO sentences Jimmy Ray Fritz was sentenced to serve. Okay, Jimmy Ray Fritz was sentenced under RICO, 87 months in prison. Flip Caruso was sentenced to serve 70 months in prison. Sentenced to time served in 2 years. Oh yeah, that killed me when they said that. When they said Lori's already served time. They don't even need to add that up because she isn't going to go anywhere. She has served. She got in jail February 20 of 2020. So how many months has she served? Simply only 5 months of her life. Big deal. Big deal. Time served. What? How does JJ and Tylee and Charles and Tammy feel about 5 months of time served? Okay, guys. So unless you want me to keep this chat open, I think I'm all done. Because I don't know what else to say. One, I can't see anything. As you can see, it's not much of a sunset tonight. It's just a dark line. Do you see that dark line going across? It's a dark kind of grayish line going across the blue sky. You can see the blue, and then there's... I never can see it the way you guys can see it. Oh yeah, I see the cloud. Yeah, the other morning, you know what? I thought about it. I may not put nice backgrounds anymore. You know what? I must have gotten 300 comments about my sunrise the other day. On Doomsday, that was a good day, huh? To have that kind of sunrise. Emoji. I keep saying that word so I remember what it is. What is the pretty white design in the middle of the picture? The white design in the middle of the picture. I don't know. There's a lantern there. Is that what you're saying? What's the lantern? Or is it? Oh, is it? It's a door. It's actually the old-fashioned iron door that's painted white. That's what that is. The very ornate design right behind the lantern. That's a door. Yes. Oh, Lisa, I'm glad you brought this up. Lisa, I can't go. Lisa says Barry Cox, Life Insurance Connection, Summer Shiflett, Melanie Gibb, Janice Cox, Julie Rowe, Jason Moe, Melanie Plowski, and possibly Ian. She let them rent her condo in Rexburg after she tried to kill BB and Chad. How do we know that? I mean, not that I'm questioning you, Lisa, but where did we get the idea that they rented her condo? Yeah, no, listen, I'm glad you brought this up. This is a good, excellent way to end the night if we really do end. I just didn't have anything more to say other than reading more about RICO. So this is the deal. This is what I can say because of what Lisa just said. Isn't it uncanny that Barry's business was selling life insurance? Do you think that they targeted Charles from day one? Do you think the Cox family enterprise targeted Charles VALLOW because he dealt in financial services. Do you think that was the attraction? Do you think that's why they all like Charles? Not only was he generous, but he was in the market. His business, his expertise was in the same market that they were using the criminality in. Isn't it opportune that you marry someone that your family likes to steal from that organization? Am I making myself clear here? It's too uncanny that she marries Charles and all of the crimes. And someone very astute brought this up to me last night. Yes, thank you, Kevin. I believe the same, and I believe we haven't seen them all. Let's start this out with Nate Eaton said this about 5-6 weeks ago. I might have the time wrong, but that's my memory. 5-6 weeks ago. He did a podcast, and he said what the law enforcement officials have told him, that when the cases get tried, we'll all understand. All the pieces will come together. But this is the piece that I'm wondering about. Did Alex Cox, when he stole his dead sister's credit card, when he stole that credit card after her death and went on a spending spree, how many in this chat think that it was endorsed by the Cox family? That they probably said to Alex, hey, we're in Hawaii. We can't make use of her card. This was the early 90s. So we can't make use of her card. But hey, enjoy it while you're there, because no one's going to be able to charge Stacy. She's dead. So enjoy your card. See if they can go after Stacy for it. I can see that their attitude would be like that. I know, huh, Multi-Sirens? I did hear that. Multi-Siren says that Lori thought that Tylee was her dead sister reincarnated. So they killed her the second time? Is that what they did? They had done it probably the first. If they didn't kill her physically, they killed her enough psychologically that she died. You don't have to take a gun or a knife. You can kill someone's mind. And I read those Stacy Cope's paperwork that her husband had submitted to the court. And she was crazier than a Looney Tune. Did they make her that crazy? Did they like her getting that crazy? I would say yes to that. Yeah, they were using, yes, Daffodil. Yes, using her credit cards while in Hawaii. Lori was caught using Tylee's credit cards. And don't forget, Charles's Amazon account, that's attached to his credit card, right? You can't use an Amazon account without a credit card attached to it. So she was using, that's a credit card fraud. There's so many frauds, and that's it. Did it start when Janice Cox died? They said they ran off to Hawaii. They let her die by herself over in Arizona with Alex. Alex takes off, goes on a shopping spree with her cards, with her credit cards, and they might have told her, because they're grifters, they might have said to her, hey, the banks can't come after Janice, so use them. That's how I see Barry and Janice. Yeah. No, Janine, I think Lori thinks all her powers are in her head, that she's such a manipulator that I don't know, but okay. I think Lori's whole family are nuts. Her own parents wouldn't. I'm trying to read this. Oh, shoot, I lost it. I got to get reading glasses, you guys. My new love is my reading glasses. I never wore them before, but as of this week, I think I'm going to officially start having to use them. I can't see anymore. I can't find them to see them. Okay. Okay, so I think Lori's whole family are nuts. Her own parents wouldn't ever pay their taxes. Her dad presented himself as an attorney. I wonder why that was so hard to read. Yes, you're right. He went around town, from what I understand, knocking on doors, trying to sell life insurance products, claiming that he was an attorney. He used the emblem or the saying, like he put Barry Cox, attorney at law, or he put Barry Cox lawyer, or Barry Cox Esquire. You know, he presented as an attorney. Oh, hi, Ireland. Hi, Georgina. Nice to hear from you. We've been talking about the RICO law, and even if the RICO law cannot be used for whatever reason, maybe it doesn't have the punch that the prosecutors want for Lori and Chad. And of course, it would be Alex if he was still alive, but maybe it doesn't have the punch. Thank you, Sarah Burns. But even if it can't be used, at least it formats, or at least it helps us go on the right trajectory of the law. We don't want to go off in Disneyland. Like, they don't put courtrooms in Disneyland for a reason. And that's all that nonsense with the religion. I know some of it's going to be a motive. I understand that. But it really is nonsense at the end of the day. The court is going to be looking at what laws have you violated, what remedial actions can we take, how can the prosecutor help the jury to understand how deviant these people have been. You know, I mean, do you have to say any more when there's murdered children in the ground and they committed arson? They committed arson to burn her own biological daughter. Okay, it's a given. JJ wasn't her biological son. You know, she might not have had, I don't think she could even have attachments for either. I don't think a mother that can kill her kids can have attachments. A star maker. A star maker. Let me put it up let me see. Let me see what you're seeing first of all. A star. They're like, you go on Amazon. See, I'm moving it so it shows the roof. See the little, I'm in the screen house and it has a tiny, tiny metal roof where I'm sitting so in case it rains. Yeah, you guys enjoyed it the last time, so that's why I wanted it this time. Plus, it gives you something to look at. because without that lantern and without these sparkles, you wouldn't be seeing much. I don't even know if you can see the sky still. I can see the sky, but I don't know if this camera's strong enough to catch. Okay, well, hello, little Maya. Nice to meet you. I'm in Beverly Hills. I love this channel. Thank you, Sarah, for saying that. And I love Beverly Hills. I love Beverly Hills. I love the food, of course. I love to go from restaurant to restaurant. I don't care about the shops. I just want the food. Okay. I'll have to find out, Sunshine. I can show you what it looks like. I'll put it in front of the camera. Can you see it? Oh, sky. That's it. See it right there? Sky. So it says something lights. It's something light skylight. That's what it looks like. And I got it on Amazon. And it's my granddaughter's. And so I said to myself, if I'm out here and it gets dark, I need some glitz. Bliss light, is that what it's called? Okay, I couldn't see what that word was. Oh yeah, that's Lori and Chad living the life of bliss over in Hawaii when the children and the husband and the wife are dead in the United States. Yeah, good night, Rebel. It looks like a fairy. Well, I'm not far from Disney, human animal. If you ever come over, if anyone ever comes over, I'm not far from less than an hour or just about an hour from Disney. Yeah. Disney's in Kissimmee. They always call it Orlando, but it's Kissimmee. And Kissimmee is the Disney is about 2 miles. The entrance into Disney is 2, possibly 3 miles from that murder in Celebration. Remember the murder in Celebration with the man? He was a therapist. He took out his whole family, his 3 kids and his wife. And the dog, actually. Ooh, David Warwick, the James couple. Yeah, you want him added to the list? Yes, for some reason, like I said before. So, that's what I was saying about, you guys reminded me of it. I was going to close and then, so let's think of this. We got Alex when he was a young fella who was around when his sister died. The parents of his sister, or I guess his parents as well, the parents of Alex and Stacy did not mind her dying, gave their best wishes to her, and went to Hawaii, meaning they thought it was the Lord's time to take her. I'm wondering if there was a life insurance policy on her life from the Coxes. The father, Barry, has always been in financial services like life insurance. Lori meets Charles. He's in financial services / life insurance. Was this family always doing things around life insurance? Brandon Boudreaux, the only benefit it would have been for Brandon to be killed is the $1 million that the enterprise could have split. JJ and Tylee, we know the deal there. They were paying for those apartments up in Rexburg. When they killed JJ and Tylee, that money that they received monthly paid for their rents and some, and their utilities, and their food, and their travel money to go down and kill Brandon And then when that didn't work out, and they knew Brandon was on guard. See, the thing is Brandon never knew that he was shot at. They might have gotten him later, but they hit his window. They hit his window and pulverized his driver's side window. So they knew that he was in protect mode. That, you know, he hired a private investigator. He did everything, moved, took his kids out of there. So they knew he was not an option anymore. That's when they went to Tammy. But I believe they went up there from the get-go. And I mean the get-go, to kill Tammy. I believe that that's why Alex was there. That's why Melanie P. was there. And of course, Lori was there twofold, to be with her lover, Chad Daybell, and to be there to get rid of his wife. Yes. Thank you, Sarah. That's where I was going. I keep getting off course. So you got Stacy dying in the early 90s. We don't know if there was insurance on her head. We don't know if the Cox family got insurance money from her. Then we got Charles. They thought they had $1 million. They were wrong. Then they got Brandon, but they didn't get it again. Twice they missed out. Then they got Tammy. And Sarah just mentioned Zalemas and insurance. How come all of these people, why are the Cox family marrying people who sell life insurance or other similar financial products? This is the enterprise. This is where, isn't it uncanny that a family will murder and kill people involved in life insurance? I can't even make sense. I can't even speak sense right now, as you can hear. How can they marry the people and then murder the people too? You know, and what's the Zalema part? If they had never been founded, what was Zalema going to do in the future? The difference is Alex got killed or whatnot, or God really did take him. Yes, Zalema's in it too, Lisa. You got it. You got it. So we got the whole Cox family enterprise. So we go right from, so Alex started it in the 90s. We know that Barry wouldn't pay taxes. He went to prison. What else did they do? They did something else. They didn't pay federal taxes, and they did one other thing that they got in big trouble for. Oh, the life insurance. He was going around trying to sell life insurance door to door. So there's another connection. Charles sold life insurance products. There's another connection. Zulema sold life insurance products. What is this? What is this? Instead of gambling enterprise, it's a life insurance. So they're all life insurance licensed people, and they're criminals on top of it. So they have a real job, that, you know, a life insurance sales job, and then on top of their real job, that's a legal entity, they got this illegal entity of murdering to get the life insurance. Bye, Sarah. Oh, I'm glad you found the channel too. Yes. Everyone stay friends. It's a lot of time to sing for the boy. When did they live in Nevada? I don't know when they lived in Nevada. I know that everyone got married in Nevada, Glowing Ember. Do you know when they lived? Does anyone know if they lived in Nevada? I know that a lot of them ran up there and got married in Las Vegas. Correct, Shannon. It was jail. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Everybody has me read for all my friends. Have me read for them when I'm near them. Well, of course, not during COVID. I haven't been near anybody. But in the past, I've always been the reader because all my friends are wearing reading glasses, and now just this week I've learned that I'm not being able to read. But I'm reading now without glasses because I couldn't find them. I can't see the glasses to put them on my face. If that's not something, huh? So yes, I'm reading the chat and it's very small right now. It's on a cell phone. The chat's real tiny. So I guess it might be just when I'm tired or something. Yes, they move around a lot, Lisa says. They did live in California. I know that they lived in California. That's where they were raised, in the greater Bakersfield area. And me living in Bakersfield area myself, I lived on the seacoast, but they lived inland. That can be a very dangerous area. That's not, it's not the safest area to be raised in. Yeah, I don't understand about the ring, Mary. You know what the YouTubers have said. They think the ring signifies the material that they might have killed. The malachite might have been the element that killed everyone. They think that if they boil it in water, if they boil malachite in water and then serve it as a drink of some sort, that it can kill you. So that's been the scuttlebutt on YouTube. That the reason that they bought the cheap rings was it was a symbol of the destruction that they caused. Um how do you say it when you're godlike? What's that word? OMNIPOTENCE. I can't say it. I can never say it. Yeah, I can spell it, DJ. I just can't say it. That's what they are. They think they're that word. Yes, Mary. Yes, you're all right. I just can't say it. That's why I spelt it out to you. You tell put it in put if you can put it in, because because of my problems with my hearing and whatnot, there are some words that I know the words and I can never say them. If you put them in phonetic, if you write it to me phonetically, I might be able to say it. Oh, she did before I even said it, Lisa. Omniscience, 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 omniscience. Uh, Omnipotent. Omnipotent. Yes. On omnipotence. Omnipotence. Yeah, I can't say it. I'd have to practice it for a week straight. Then I still wouldn't say it. All those words like that don't funnel into my brain right because of my deafness, because I don't hear them right. When I don't hear words right, I can't say them right. even though they're spelled omnipotent. Omnipotent. Omnipotent, Mia says, thank you. That's what they are. Venus. She loves me because I can't speak. Thank you, Venus. Graham, say translated being. Yeah, okay. Yeah, translated being. They are convinced their body has spirit of a level 6. So did I when the camera is on. A contract to model possession is a contract. I was conceived on the death day of Hitler and Osama, born 121. Well, that's a good day. At least something, James, at least something very good came out of that day. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you, because I don't like those two people. Thank you, Skylight. Oh, look at that. Is it moving? It must look, if you got better screens than me, it must look beautiful. I might get a light like that for my apartment. Take me back to clubbing days. I'll look them up. Yeah, human animal. If you come here, if you come to Florida, we'll find some old people discos. Like, geriatrics. They're called G discos. Not you, human animal. That's me. I loved the discos when I was a kid. I don't know, Kat. Do you? Kat, do you think Chad is afraid of Lori? I don't know. I can't. I don't see that. The only one that I can really say that I know is dangerous, in the sense she exudes it, is Summer. Summer exudes evil. When I look at Summer, I see evil. It is so funny that I would not want to meet her on the street. Lisa said Chad should be afraid. Black widows don't care. They just want you dead after mating. And guess what else, Lisa, black widows do? Look it up if you don't know. They eat their children. They eat them. I'm not making any inference here. I'm just saying the real black widow, the spider, they eat their children. They have about 180 spiderlings. When they give birth to about 180, and they come out red. And you don't have to worry about them too much, the babies, because one, they don't have the same potent, what is it called, the sting. They don't have I can't find the word. They don't have the poison sting. The little babylings. But they run around and their mother eats them. Yes, that's true, Glowing Ember, but they also eat their children. When they're little babies, they're red. I've seen them in California. I haven't seen them eating their children. I'm saying I've seen the babies in California. Yes. The female black widow eats the smaller male after. Yes, that's 100. But they all look it up. See if I'm right or wrong. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Maybe I dreamt that. Maybe I had a scary dream. Yeah, blonde widow. Cat says, perfect cat. But she isn't even blonde. She's a dark brunette. She's not blonde. She dyes her hair blonde. She was never blonde. Unless she bleached it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, human animal. That's a good one. Human Animal says Lori is playing with Chad, saying, "Call me Mrs. Daybell." Yeah, it's like a dog at the fire hydrant. Huh, Human Animal? Is that how you meant it? Like a dog at the fire hydrant, marking their spot? Yeah. I moved to California, and they never saw a black widow. And I told them that I was frightened of spiders. So within 2 days of moving there, guess what's in the house? This gigantic black widow. So we had the man that thought he was an entomologist. He really wasn't, but he thought he was. He came and took the black widow and identified it as such. And from then on, I haven't been scared because I get myself educated that they don't move fast. You're kidding me, Lisa. That's what it says? That they're poison? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Lisa says that the babies could kill a small child. It's because their fangs are much smaller, delivering less poison. It's the same with people don't understand this. I don't know if you guys do. I keep all my spiders here that are non-biting and non-threatening spiders because they chase off any bad spiders. So if I see like a cellar spider, or we don't have cellars, but they call them cellar spiders, daddy long legs, I keep them. Right on, Graham? What, you like the spider talk? Funnel web spiders are terrifying. Hey, you talking about the banana spiders, Human Animal? They're yellow. In fact, the baby black widow's venom is more concentrated and more potent than your average adult. Wow, but the fangs can't do it. Now it's the same with the Lisa. It's the same with the daddy long legs. They got a potent. They can do harm, but the problem is they can't reach to do the harm. They can't penetrate the skin to do the harm. So, but I keep them because they hate black widows. Daddy longlegs hate black widows, and if they find them, they're fierce. The daddy longleg will, capture the widow. So I keep them. If I see them, I don't vacuum them up. I don't sweep them. I keep the daddy longlegs. Yes, multi sirens. Using eye drops to stop your heart. That's a bona fide science. That isn't made up. I've seen doctor shows about that. I've seen physicians talking about how lethal eye drops can be. They're black and gray. I lived had wolf spiders, a type of huntsman. They were cool. I keep spiders around too. Oh yeah, I know you, Human Animal. Pigeons, spiders. What else you got there? Whenever I saw you carrying a pigeon today, I said, oh my God, I used to do that when I was a teenager. I would carry all the animals that I thought were injured around. Yes, Human Animal, you might be right. She's Human Animal saying that the malachite might be just symbolic of their murders. That they didn't use malachite, but it signified their murders to them. It brought them back. They're such awful people that they would memorialize their murders. I believe you, human. You got good insight into that stuff. Yeah. Oh, you guys wouldn't like it. I don't know what you got for, but I've never really seen a cockroach in my life until I moved here. We don't get the German kind. Those are the really bad ones. Those are the ones that get in your food, in your dump, and all that. We get the big ones that live on the palmetto trees. The palmetto, they fly, but at least they're not coming in your kitchen to, get a meal. I'd charge them if they did. Babies lay on. Oh, now we're in entomology. You can tell that we're worn out with this. Lori and Chad have worn us out. We're into. Yeah, I like what Human Animals said about the malachite. It was symbolic. It was more of showing their achievements, what they've done together, how great, how that word is again. Let me go back to where you phonetically wrote it for me. So far back now. I might get a light like that from my apartment. Take me back. Oh, yeah, I read that. Yes, very dangerous. $50. Oh, they are, Becky Sue. I didn't know that. I paid a little bit more. I think I paid, and of course it was during COVID, so I wasn't going to out. It was probably 3 months ago when I got it. And I figured that because you're kind of jailed ourselves in COVID, when my granddaughter asked if she could get one, I said, oh my God, yes, because COVID's keeping us all in. So you got to have fun things in the house during COVID. Oh, I'm glad I got you to see what it was. I didn't know they were 50. I think I paid like 65 for it through Amazon for the sparkles, for whatever those are. But it can do many things. I just don't know how to operate it. It can do a lot more things than what it's on. Let me see if I hit a button or something. I might change it. Did that change it? No, that looks the same, huh? It turns different. I know it turns different colors. Oh, there we go. It's doing something there. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, that one, it's like a light. Yeah, it looks good. So, guys, I think I'm getting talked out. Let me see what you said. Yes, glitter fairy light. Glowing Ember says, has anyone seen a mother scorpion covered by her hundreds of babies riding on her back? Talk about getting the heebie-jeebies. Wow, no, Glowing Ember. I've never seen a scorpion. I've been in areas that they have them. I don't believe we have them here. I know that obviously desert areas have them, but I know that kids playing out in Arizona have dug them up before, in the sand or in the dirt. Yes, Golden Maid, the palmettos, they fly and they're a pain in the neck. And talking about Lori and Chad, that's what they remind me of. Palmetto bugs. They think they can do everything. When one comes in your house, they think they own it. What? What are brown hair clip-ons? The palmetto bugs? Oh, yeah, that's funny. If that's what you're talking about, never. Yes, they land on your head. They'll, if you're out, I'm in screened in. But if I wasn't screened in, I'd probably get one on my head. I've only seen them at night. Oh, you got a visitor, guys. Can you see her? Can you see your visitor? I don't know if you can see her or not. Do you see your visitor? That's Layla. Layla, say hi. You say hi, Layla? Say hi to the people. Oh, yeah, rest. Do your job and sleep. I'm surprised those sparkles don't bother her. I know, huh? Yeah, that's Layla. We named her after George Harrison's wife that turned into be Eric Clapton's wife. Yeah, Mary. That, yeah, you got to be home, especially with Layla. Wow, 11.99. Wow, I wonder if it's good, Lisa. Oh, do we have them here? Do we have rhinoceros beetles that squeeze their bodies to make a hissing noise? I've never heard that human animal. I'm deaf though, so I've never. I don't think we have. You're in Australia, right? So you must have different bugs. Yes, Georgina. And that's the point. No, all of this has been life insurance. So poor, poor Tylee. Poor Tylee. I don't think Lori ever loved Charles. I think she loved his company. And I think it was an order from the parents to be with Charles for the life insurance company. Oh, really? I've never heard him. Yeah, cat, the real elephants and the real rhinos. Yes, Tylee was abused. Yes, her whole life. And as soon as Charles died, you can be assured that JJ was getting abuse as much as Lori could give it out. My cat's got into catnip. Oh, so they don't have to buy the machine, huh? Multi sirens. They can just get into the catnip and they see the sparkles. Yeah, all children love their parents, and all children are confused. It would have taken Tylee the time if she had to grow up to find out that it was wrong. You know, when Tylee grew up, she would find out how wrong her mother was. She couldn't sort it out now. Too young to sort it out. Yes, Shannon, same with me. I tell you over and over that Summer's the most dangerous, in my opinion. She's the one that scares me. When I look at her face, I see the devil. I see horns. I see sneaky eyes, like the devil eyes. No, they can't talk, little bird, they can't talk to each other now. It was made in the order. The order said that the co-conspirators could not have any connection. Yes, before they put the co-conspirator charges, that may be true, but not. Oh, when did the court TV lawyers say this? Because in the last court date, they said that the co-conspirators, could not have any communication with each other. Yes, they were in daily contact when Chad was out. But since they charged them with the co-conspirator, they cannot have any contact because they'll make up their stories even further. The minute those charges went on, that was it. No more Lori and Chad. And that's why she went crazy. That's my opinion. She went crazy, yes, because he got jailed, but two, because she knew that she can't talk to him anymore. Yes, Homolka was terrible. Yes, dead. Homolka was dead. Summer has a little, they're dead too, but they have a twinkle. And that twinkle is evil in the Summers. I just can't get her out of my head. I would run. If she was near me, I would run. Summer Schiffler. Yes, Daffodil, that's right. So Mia, do you think that they can talk to each other from jail to jail? I don't think so. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but I don't think they can. I thought that, Little Bird, I thought that the prosecutor asked for that. I thought it was the prosecutor that asked for no televised courtrooms. They can multi-siren. Multi-siren's telling me, oh, I didn't know that, but it's monitored. Good. Well, at least that. At least they can't uh, connive together any more than they have. He was a dentist, Shannon. It shows that he was a dentist, and it looks like he was. Um, what kind of dentist? I can't remember, but he was a dentist, and they're divorced. And I hope he got the kids. Yes, Mary. They're jail portals. What? Beloved, that song by Eric Clapton. What song, Cat? Tears? What is it? Tears in Heaven? Or yeah, see? Or the attorneys, Kelly. Kelly's saying they absolutely cannot talk with each other at this time, only through Chad's kids. Or their attorneys can give back messages. That's my understanding. Whoa, wait. Wait, now that they put, I don't know if that's even true anymore with the conspiracy charges. I know, and that Lori was supposed to give Tylee a bulk of the insurance money from Tylee's father, Joseph Ryan's life insurance when she turned 18. I wonder if she spent it, Annette. That's my question mark. See, there's a lot of things that we're not aware of, that the police have not made us aware of. She might have spent Tylee's um, father's estate. Oh, begging, darling, please, won't you ease my trouble mind? Begging, darling, please. Layla. Is that, oh, so you like the song, Layla. I get it. I'm slow on the uptake here. You like the song, Layla. Yeah, I do too. But I named it, I named it after Patty. I named Layla, my kitty, after Patty Boyd, because Patty Boyd was blonde and Layla's blonde. And she's dainty and she's ferocious too. She's dainty and she can really tell you what she wants and doesn't want with the strike of the paw. Human animal. Oh yeah, I can really sing. Oh, I can't. That's another thing. I can't sing because I can't hear words. See, you guys don't understand it. What you hear and what I hear are totally different. I don't hear words right. So I only can assume that I'm saying them right or assume that I practiced them enough to say them. Yeah, Patty. And she had a good heart, Venus. Patty Boyd had a good heart. She was, she brought all the Beatles down to India to meditate. They were all stressed out. You know how musicians get. They're all stressed out. So she said, "Come on, boys. I've been to India before. Come meet." What's his name? I never say that right either. The one that played the um, what instrument did he play? Rakshna. Do you guys know his name? They went down and they meditated. You're a Misha. Yeah, Maharisha. Yeah, Maharisha. That's one of them. And he has a daughter that plays and sings beautifully. And then one of his daughters is Jones. No, Noah Jones. I think that's her name. Maharisha. Maharishi. I love you guys. The phonetic group. The yeah, if you write it phonetically, I can somewhat say it. Mahar, Maharishi. That's what Mia just wrote. Georgina, that's what we are hoping. Daffodil. They want cameras until they sit in a. They want no cameras until they. Is that what it is? They don't want any cameras until the jury's there. That makes sense. I'm not gonna feel. I don't feel slighted with that. Do you guys feel slighted that they're trying to stop the cameras? I don't. That makes 100% sense to me. That they don't want to feed the jurors any more than they've already been fed. That's a good one too, Mary, so that there isn't appeals in the future because they'll say they got an unfair trial. Yep, that everyone was tainted, that they couldn't find a jury that wasn't, the jurists were tainted. Well, I'm glad teenagers like things that you guys like too. Thank my granddaughter for this one. She wanted it. And I said, yep, during COVID, you're spending so much time in. What do human animals say? She's always funny. You don't know how much I laugh when I see her videos and stuff. Laugh in a good way. When your Miscellaneous is called Mundigan. Yeah, Human Animal has a nice little channel, everyone. She diversifies it. Today it was pigeons. Yeah. Yes, Lisa, 100%. We want Lori's rights and Chad's rights to be protected so there's no mistrial. Janine. Good times in Graham's channel. Yeah, that's why I feel good about that. Because I think we'll all know we'll all know the skinny when we're available to know it. Yeah, Annette says Lori wiped out Charles's bank account, 35,000 while he was out of town. He couldn't even pay his employees. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She stole every. There's all kind. There's all kinds of things. But I wonder why she even had. I don't get it why he had her name on the business account. Well, I get it. She was the wife in case he died, and then she could perform the duties for him, maybe. But my golly, she took off for 59 days. Remember, she stole the 35,000, then went MIA for 59 days. That's how much money she can go through. Yeah, I love snakes too. We got a lot of, I see snakes here. They don't bother me. Most must know in the area. Camera will not affect the jury pool. Sitting in the juries, whether a person cannot put aside any previous ideas if they heard about the case. Yeah, yeah, he thought he had the real angel, Mary. Charles did love Lori. He thought he had an angel, and really he was living with the devil. It was the devil portraying herself as an angel. Oh, it's so nice now. It's the humidity's dropped a little bit. Therefore the temperature feels better. Where will they find jurors that haven't heard of the case? I know, huh? Some desolate island somewhere, human animal. Yeah, Rexburg's too small of an area. And it's, no offense to Mormons or the LDS church, but it is highly saturated with people of that faith, which would not be good to have it, because it just wouldn't be good. They need more of a mix. He did say she owned a rifle on the cop cam. I did hear that too. Yes, and Adam Adam in that video, Lisa, made Alex to be out a gun expert. Yes. If you see, I don't know if you've all seen the video with Adam, but they did make Alex out in that particular video to be one that not only knew like the weapons of choice today, but the weapons of choice of years past. Charles was married 3 times. First wife has spoken out, sorry she divorced, but he cheated on her. Yeah, and I mean, Golden Mia, he was very young then, and that's what really happens sometimes with men, and they do that. I mean, women do too, but especially if it's very young. He was very young with that first wife, and that can happen. Lori's attorney defense is entirely based on unfair trial practices. He even wrote her name as Mr. Lori. I don't trust him at all. Hopefully he will be booted off soon to conflict. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I hope they can, Kelly. I know. Someone called in. Someone called in and had a male's voice, obviously, and pretended they were Charles when they changed variables on his account, on his life insurance account. Okay, guys, I got to give it up because this old lady's getting really tired. I don't know how long. I'll see when I close out. It'll tell me how long this was. We've been the partying people on Friday nights. We've been really out of disco. No, never heard of her, Lisa. Cretia? Never heard of her. Mother Hubbard. Yeah, I'm not like Stacy Cox, human animal. I don't throw out my food. I eat it. I eat it and eat it and eat it. And I need to take your weight loss program. That being said, not that they can't make a clear decision, but I really don't think they should have anyone of any religious persuasion. Oh yeah, I heard that on the cop can, Lisa, that she owned a gun, and I thought that was interesting. Okay, guys, you know what I always say, beautiful people. Oh, I gotta show you the moon. The moon looks good. I keep finding excuses not to close this, but I gotta show you this moon. I hope you can see it. Come on, moon. Can you see it? It's a crescent. It's pretty. It's very bright. Yes, good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for trying to figure out RICO, if it's something they might use. You never know. You never know. They're brighter than bright. They're doing what's right. They're being methodical. They're not being slow because they're not working. They're being slow because they are working, and I'm glad. And that's all I want to see is all of them imprisoned and all children and all people safe. So with that said, guys, you know what I always say. There's a lot of beauty out here, but watch out for the ugly. Take care, all. Have a great night. Feel well, Janine, and everybody in here that's had surgery. I know a lot of people have had surgery lately. Good night, everyone. Take care.